Hi everyone, it's Karen. I'm back to share with you this journal that I've been working on. I did show the cover a few weeks ago on an Instagram post, and I've completed her, and I'm calling her Romance and Roses. And on the cover, slow stitching and some applique work. And I've used little pieces of material that I have fussy cut out of a sari piece and made them into butterflies, and then added beads onto those. I've did this beautiful fuchsia lace that I purchased, and I made them into rolled roses and added those. And then there's more of this applique from a sari. There's a pleated piece at the bottom here that I have beaded down the center of it. And the very bottom is lace pieces, and what I did was I did dye a bunch of white laces. So this I did in a red dye-along dye, and they came out different shades of red, of course, because it depends on what the lace is made up of. But this particular dangle lace, that's from Angel Dream Crafts Kim, the bottom of it is actually dyed really nicely with the red dye. And then I added some bling onto that, and then underneath that is a dangle of the bottom of a doily that I also dyed, and it's more of a almost like a wine colored red, the color that it went. And so that's dangling out the bottom. She is 5.5 by 10 inches for the cover, and she's a one signature. She has quite a large number of she's got pages and tucks and flips, and I put lots of laces on her pages as well, and some of the other dyed pieces of crocheted work that I had, and trims. And she's got lots of little dangles hanging from her in different places, and along the bottom she's got more dangles hanging as well, little acrylic pieces and little beads and all kinds of things. So one signature sewn in. This is the back. Again, a lot of dyed pieces of lace. And then on the bottom of this one, I also added in some little crochet flowers, and then added in some beaded centers. And then I put some nice red beads in these flowers at the bottom here, and this dangle. And then did a collage, glue string, did a collage of some of the dyed laces, and then made a bit of a flower and a crocheted flower here, and added some bling pieces, little piece of crocheted trim that I dyed, and then made it into a butterfly there. And then there's a piece of this flowery red trim up the back that was a gift from Julie from Paper Play with Julie K. She gifted me that, and I used that on there. And then there's some crinkled seam binding that I've used in two colors of sort of fuchsia colors, and that I've used as part of the closure, which wraps around her a couple of times and then loops through this pretty piece in the front here, that she has a nice long tie, and this just opens right up like that. And let's have a look inside of her. So there's that piece from the front that dangles down, that beautiful piece of the doily, and it sort of hangs out the bottom. And then there's some other little pieces of the other lace trim that I added in the sides. And then I sort of gathered it up, pleated it up to the top here with this little piece of wedding applique there with all the beads and everything on it. And then I added in these little paper roses, which you can see them sparkling. I stickled those up as well. And then this is a little Tim Holtz paper rose, and I used that as a little tuck to put in a little tag in there. And then there's a pocket here, and I just put in a bit of writing paper in there. The cover is material on the outside and then attached to a really nice piece of cardstock on the inside. It has frayed a little bit on the edges, but it has been sealed, so it will only minimally fray and then it will stop. I've used lots of different digitals in putting this together. So this is a digital paper that I purchased, and trim on the side. I did some tea staining, and also just the color from the paper came through when I tea stained this side, and then I did a rose napkin that I applied on there. This side has just got some roses from a digital download, and then it goes into a collage on the bottom, again with a little piece of that cotton that I dyed, some beads and a little heart here. And this is tea stained paper with stenciling on it, and then there is an altered paper clip on the top here as well. The pages are either digital downloads, tea stained, with stenciling, or cardstock. Another little collage down in the corner here with a little key, and then up here I've put a little heart with a lock on it. And then this is a flip out, so there's lots of journaling space here, and then this has got a tag in it as well. And they're all sewn and have journaling room on the back of all of them. This is a digital download music paper that I purchased. I did a bit of a trim around the edge with paper, and that's just folded over the edge. I've used that before with fabric to edge something, and so I used paper this time. This is actually a little tuck in the corner here. This is a tea stained page, and this is a bit of a lace flip up, and just a beautiful rose that I actually colored from a coloring book. You can see the tea staining, you can see the stamping that I've done, and another little journaling card and a tuck spot there. More lace on the side of the page and a little flower in the top of the corner here. Another little collage here with some paper flowers and some lace, and then again tea staining, stenciling, just a little butterfly there. This is a pink dyed doily. The dye quite nice actually. It's got a real mottled effect in here. It's quite pretty. Another digital download. So just a little butterfly collage and a little drop piece of another trim that I dyed with the red. And I just added some beads here and a few beads here. And then this is a flip out. So there's lots of journaling space on this card. Cute little picture, a little boy and girl, and I just cut it in the shape of a heart and used it as a tuck spot for another journaling card, and then just lined the back of that page and stamped a little rose on there. This is just a little, this is a tuck spot too, and a little embellishment. This is just some nice cardstock paper, and I did a bit of a fussy cut flower on there and some lace on the edge. And on the back of that, tea stained with a bit of a crochet doily on the piece of a crochet doily on the bottom here that I did dye in the red dye. And then there's a little drop there. This is a tuck spot here. This is a page out of a book. Sorry if you can hear that. That's the dogs upstairs running around. This is a little, as I mentioned, a page from a book. I love the printing on it. It's just so neat how it's been written. And this just makes a little tuck spot. The blossom cards, and I got these as a digital download, and they just open up, and I either have put in a little note card in there that you can write on, or some of them they're on heavier paper, so I've just left them to be written on. And that's just the way you fold them. They make sort of that blossom picture. And these could be taken out and written on and sent as a card to someone. There's just an example of the tea staining with the stenciling on it, and I used vintage photo when I stenciled on there. This is a page that I have taken music paper and put a lovely tissue paper that I had, and I put that over the top of it. And then I've just added in one of my little pages that I make my own little writing paper. And so this is one of them. And it's just tea stained paper with some stenciling on it. And I just cut out a few hearts, and then it has a little paper clipped butterfly on there as well. And it just paper clips in there on these little paper clips. And on this side is the rest of the music paper, of course, and a little collage in the corner here with some beads and a tuck spot. There's a journaling card in there as well. I think I dyed this with just pink. I made up a pink dye with just food coloring. And I put a flip on here, and that's another crocheted piece that I dyed in the red Dylon dye. And then on here I've done some 2 little hearts out of fabric, and I've hand stitched them on there and put a little butterfly in there with some beads in the center and another little pin with some beads on it, and then another little the stamped rose is on there. Corner tuck. This is again a lovely coloring book that I have, and I just colored some of the paper in it and added that as the corner tuck. It's also stitched around so it's more sturdy, and and these are a digital download as well. And this is it's an envelope that you could put little goodies in, and it's all been stitched around the edge. So again, makes the paper quite sturdy. I put a little rose on there as a flip, or as a little tuck to hold the thing down, and a little bit of lace along the top. Again, one of my tea stained and stenciled pages with lace, and then I just did a little beaded butterfly there with a little bit of beading down from it. And this is one of the digital downloads I have. I did a little collage in the corner here with a little bit of doily that I dyed with the red dye, and some fussy cut flowers and a little fussy cut bird. There's a little dangle on here as well that's got itself tinkled in the crochet work. But there it is, little red flower. And then there was also a altered paper clip on the side here. And there's a little dangle hanging off of that too. This is also a digital download that I purchased, and it is a beautiful piece of embroidery or cross stitch work. And I made it into a tuck spot, and then I just tucked a little bit of it's a little flip down, one of those little flip downs where you have the top and then it flips down for more journaling paper. This is a beautiful napkin that I purchased, and I just loved her. She's so beautiful, and I just wanted, this is the center of the journal, and I just wanted her on one of the pages. So I just Mod Podged her onto some music paper. There was a little bit of that tissue paper under there as well, so that kind of shows through there. And then I just put some nice paper top and bottom. It's just something super pretty to look at, and I just thought it was so nice. The center of the signature has some iridescent little clear beads and some red beads and a little heart hanging from the strings. This is a flip out, so there's extra hidden journaling space inside there on this lovely digital download paper, and then I also added in some fussy cut work that I had done. This side is a tag that I have altered with laces and hand stitched work and some collage, fussy cut collage work on there. Just something very pretty, but it's also functional. You can journal on the back side, and the paper under the paper it's attached to is all journaling space as well. Another one of those blossom cards that I showed before, and again I showed you that they do open up. You can journal inside. You could take those out and give them away. And this is a tea stained and stenciled page. This is a food colored page with a little rose stamped on it. Journaling card in that side tuck here with collage work done on it. And this is also from the red dye that I dyed, the red pieces in this piece too. Bit of a dangle on this side here. Most of the dangles are either connected to a paper clip or they're on a little heart-shaped lobster claw clasp, so they could be moved around or they could be taken out altogether were in a spot that you didn't like or wanted to put it somewhere else. The other side of that is also a collaged tuck, and in this there's journaling space there, but in this one I've also made what we call a writing board, so it's got some stability to it, and because there's some pages have some lumpiness to them, you just put that in and it gives you a smoother spot to write on. And it's stenciled and tea stained on the back, and then it just tucks nicely in there. Or it can be moved throughout your journal as you're working through. You could just leave it there if that's where you are, and it's ready for the next time when you're journaling. Another one of those Blossom note cards, and music paper. This is a bit of a tuck in here as well. I left it so it could be flipped open and you could write on the music paper as well, or you could glue down the sides if you wanted to. Another little paper clip with a dangle on it, and a little dangle hanging off of the paper clip from the other side as well. There's another one of my papers that I make, writing papers that I make, tea stained, stenciled, some little hearts that I've cut out of some rose colored paper. Another one of those pages with the tissue paper over the music paper. And then this one, this is a flip, so there's journaling space underneath here, and then there is journaling space here, and then there's an extra journaling card here that tucks into this little collage that I made down at the bottom here, and then there's lace on the side. So just another little collage in the corner with a tuck, and another page with some tea staining on it and some pretty eyelet trim. Cardstock paper, cute little tag with Eiffel Tower on it, and a rose cluster with some little seed beads sewn on there as well. And then this is a ruffle that I made out of a thin piece of trim that I had with polka dots on it, and I ruffled that and put it on the side of the page. This is a napkin that I've applied to this page, and then added on the love and the little hearts, and then this pretty trim along the side here, and another little paper clip with a dangle on it. This 2 rows of this trim make up a belly band, which holds this envelope, which is another digital download. This one I did not make into sew it together. I left it as so you could potentially journal inside of it, or you could tuck things in there if you wanted to. You just have to put glue here and here and close it up, and it would become an envelope that you could use as a sealed envelope if that's what you wanted to. But I wanted to leave it open for options. Very pretty with all the roses on it. The other half of that doily, a little tuck on the bottom of here with a little dangle hanging, a dangle hanging off the bottom. I guess there's a couple there. Yeah, there's a little heart, and then there's one of the heart clasps and some beads, and it's actually attached to a paper clip that's attached on there. And this was an extra piece of digital download that I had planned to put in as a page in the journal, and then it just had too many pages, so I just it's also been tea stained, and then I put some lines on the back of it, and I just tucked it in here because I thought it would be pretty in here as extra journaling space. Or you could use it to write a letter to someone and actually mail a letter away. A little bit of the paper clip here with some beads hanging on it and a journaling card. Another tuck spot with a journaling card tucked in that has the lines on it, and I do like to do the broken lines. I think it looks kind of cool. And a little collage here with another little bead drop. More trim on the top here. This is a tuck in the corner here with a bit of collage work, roses and a clock and a key. And then what I've done is I've just taken a glassine bag and I applied a napkin to it, sewed around the edges, and I just tucked that in there so that if you had some photos or tickets from something or something you wanted to save, that you could tuck those in there as well, and they would be an extra spot for hiding things away. Another side tuck here with a tag in there, and that one is music paper over a napkin over that, and then I have stitched around the edge of that as well. And they're all got some kind of paper on the back that's easy enough to write on. And another little tuck in the corner here, that's another one of those little blossom cards. Getting to the end, this is a little pouch actually, and you can tuck things behind it. And then I also put a tag inside of it, but there's room in there for more things as well. There's lots of pretty washi tape throughout too. I guess I didn't point all of it out, but that's a lovely piece there. A little bit of pink trim on the top and a little bridal applique in the corner here. And then the back, there's that pretty digital paper, a little collage, and a little collage with some hand crocheted work, some dyed applique, a little heart that I colored, and then some beadwork on there too, and then a little journaling card in there. And then the back is, I put some lace down here. There's this really pretty heart shape that I applied to the back page because it just looked pretty. There's a piece of that beautiful rose trim from Angel Dream Crafts, Kim and Etsy, and I put that along here and then added some little flat backs, and the beads are on there, so it just adds to the bottom of the book. And then there's a little bit of another little dangle with acrylic beads and on there as well, and it's on a clasp as well, so you could take it off. And then we're to the back. So that is my Romantic Roses journal that is finished now, and I'm quite pleased with how it turned out. I think it's quite pretty, and I think that it would be quite nice to journal in. The cover is soft. It has bubble wrap packing in between, so it gives it quite a bit of stability and some texture to it, but also it's soft in the hand. And it's got lots of lovely details to admire and look at with the dangles and that kind of thing. So I think that it will be enjoyed very much by anyone who's interested. I am going to sell this journal, and I will leave my email in the description box below if you're interested. Just shoot me off an email. So I hope you are all keeping well and staying safe, and I will see you on the next video, and happy crafting. Bye everybody.